skims it, throws it over the fence.
But Jim took that, he took his out, his is no longer active.
I'm not saying the French drain, the guy next door has one.
Yeah,
And it's washing right where our flood is.
yeah. I mean, it's
The whole group over there are like that.
Okay.
They don't care. We're the low income people.
Well,
And he calls us the high dollar people.
Well,
So he told me today when I got in his face.
I personally feel like, and I've texted Mike, me and Mike have had conversation and shared conversations. I personally think some people in this neighborhood think we live in $3 million homes. I mean, we do live in low income housing for the most part. These are, but I'm not
Yeah.
saying we should be treated like that. Don't get me wrong.
Well, that's my only complaint, the way they treat us.
Yeah. And I just feel like everything has been blown out of proportion with this thing. I've received a phone call every single week talking about laying sod. The guy's not even done yet.
It's not me. Today's the first day I pitched a bitch. If
No,
you'll
and I'm
excuse
not
my
directing.
French.
I'm not directing this at you. People have called Mike, and Mike has called me. But the point of the thing is, it's been so much of a hissy fit over something that is going to be fine when it's all said and done. But people aren't having patience. Now, as far as the dust, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry about that. That shouldn't be happening. But I don't know.
I couldn't see the house across the street. That's how much
it was
dust
bad
they
there for a
put
bit.
up.
I got a picture of that.
I never noticed it.
It looked like a dust storm
But I
coming through
will
when
tell
was in
you,
Texas.
I do not know the
I
guy
live
personally at
two
all.
houses down.
But I have had dealings with him when I did business with him.
Yeah, the only,
And he's very particular, and I know that he's gonna do a good job when he's done, making sure that everything is correct for our
Well, there was
water
the annual
flow.
meeting.
yeah, but that didn't help you when it was raining Sunday and I'm out there in my slippers.
I went out there and I looked at it when it was raining, there was no problem whatsoever.
Right? Okay.
It was over by my house.
I was out there, I drove right in the cul-de-sac and looked at it.
Well, that was probably after I raked it all.
Well, there was about, there can't be more than an inch of dirt on top of there. If anything, we have too much there where it needs to be more dirt brought in the swale
Get a
there.
word in. All right, it's 7 o'clock, so we're gonna go ahead and call this to order.
I'm not trying to get on your case.
I know,
Just
and I'm not
somebody
trying,
who's not here on the board.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, it's just kind of a touchy subject, because I came kind of upset to the meeting
And
tonight.
Terry, as far as I know, Terry's still in the hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be it, I think.
Well, what about the guy named Fred?
Yeah, I better sign it. I didn't
We're
sign
coming to that.
Okay.
Yeah, Fred's not here either, obviously.
Yeah.
All right,
So that's
unfortunately,
three.
we ended up short the written agenda and a couple other things this evening. They just got left at the office. Anyway, Sharon, do you wanna do we have the financials yet?
No, I'm having her send them to me.
All right, then we'll just proceed and get to that afterwards.
So there's
First
no
up-
financials and there's no
Wait.
last minute board meeting?
The last one was the annual meeting and I just told you, I left everything on the printer in the office,
Okay.
I'm sorry. But they were the October minutes that I had printed off, but why don't we just approve them at the next meeting? Okay.
All right, so first up, I'm gonna move, and I need a second, that we approve Fred's resignation from the board. It was just a little more.
Fred, I
work.
thought you were resigning.
I am too.
So there's two resignations.
I haven't resigned yet, I'm resigning at the end of this meeting, so.
Oh, okay, excuse me. I'm sorry. All right.
So I just need a motion then from somebody.
I'll second.
Wait a minute,
I
I need a
motion.
no, you,
I
oh,
motion.
yeah, you can, okay. All in favor? Opposed?
And there's a,
Oh, no.
We have no opposed. All right, that's thing one. Thing two is I'd like to nominate Lisa Baird to come in as, take over as vice president. And I'm gonna move that we do that, so I'm looking for a second.
vice president.
Second.
All in favor?
I was gonna say, did you wanna do it? I missed the question.
So Lisa Baird be taking Fred's position?
No, she's taking over as vice president. As vice president, I move up to president.
Okay, there we go.
So-
Gotcha.
And let's get a motion to put you in the,
I need
There
somebody
we
else to
go.
do that.
yeah,
okay.
somebody needs to make a motion.
I'll motion.
Okay, Scott, second?
Fred
Okay.
was president.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay.
All right, next is is, since we still have a vacancy, I'm gonna nominate Andrea Winkleman to fill that spot. She's lived in the neighborhood for several years. She lives at the corner of Tree Line and Hardwood, so she's local.
About it.
So she'll be a director?
Yes,
Is she here tonight?
right here.
Okay.
Okay,
Although she's not required to be here tonight.
okay, so now that he's president, somebody else needs to make the motion and second it,
I think I'm.
okay?
I'll second it.
You
wanna know the
Board
right?
member-
Yeah.
Board member
We
needs to
need one
second it.
next month.
No.
I'll do it.
Kathy?
I'll second.
So all in favor?
You better.
Alright, next thing is, I wanna thank everyone for coming, and I'm hoping this year we can have a more cooperative and friendlier environment. The way things have been going is not good for you, me, or anyone else involved, and I hope we can change that. That being said, we're gonna go to 3 minutes, Sharon's gonna run the timer, at 3 minutes you're done. With no squabbling, no gossiping back and forth, we need to be quiet so people can hear. If we can't do that, I'm just gonna adjourn the meeting immediately. And the neighborhood can blame whoever it is for not having a meeting. So, we've got Fred out of the way, we've got Lisa or Andrea out of the way. What I'd like to bring up is we currently have a house in the neighborhood operating as an Airbnb. And I don't think that we should permit that. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for the houses in the immediate vicinity especially. The one I'm referring to, I know they've had 4 or 5 tenants in the last 2 months. The first time they had 5 people in the house at one time, and it caused parking issues. It's everything I've ever read about them. It's hell on neighborhoods. We shouldn't permit it. So, discussion?
I think that in order to not
I was just-
allow Airbnb, it would have to be in the bylaws. It's not a.
We know how to arrange it, Jim. We're trying
Oh,
to.
so you-
Well, okay, but that is something we have to work with, is
Yeah,
bylaws,
so
we have bylaws.
We can amend a bylaw.
Sure, but a bylaw would have to be before we would, you know,
I think
that would
he's just
be a
trying
big
to
move.
see if everybody
Yeah.
thinks it's a good idea, that's why he brought it up.
It
Yes,
would
and
be
that'll
a-
have to go
I think it's
to the
wonderful.
We can
attorney.
do a.
Yeah.
The
It-
attorney will write that up, it'll go out to everybody to be voted on, so
As it's
you're
laid
just
out.
bringing
So
up.
it's a
As
lot of
it's laid
movements.
out by the attorney, the board has to approve it. At that point, it goes to the attorney, he writes it up, and then we send it to the neighborhood. So,
Okay, so what the attorney is gonna ask for, what is the amount that you're willing to go down to have people rent?
that would be, was going to be my next thing. Personally, I think we should limit everything to 12 months or longer. I don't think,
Yeah,
I don't
I
think there should be
agree.
2 month, 3 month, 4 month leases.
I believe the city of Melbourne's, the
no
least amount you can
subleases.
rent is 6 months.
Yeah,
And that's not
Yeah, I
correct.
think that's
spoke
a
to code
city
enforcement.
cause there's some city laws about that, I know off the top of my head that there's short term, and then there is less
Short-term
than
in
12
Melbourne,
months.
it can't be anything less than 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. I thought
That would be
was a
But
considered
6 months is the
short-term.
minimum.
Well.
Because I myself, I've rented
And
for
I
6 months
looked
at a
it up
time
before I
in the
came
city
here
of Melbourne.
tonight.
According-
6 months.
According to code enforcement.
Well, according to City of Melbourne's website and their published documents, 6 months is the smallest
Okay,
leash you
Jim.
could do.
You're interrupting, we're asking, no
This is a conversation, I'm not
I was
interrupting, I'm
speaking. You were
speaking.
It's a
interrupting.
board meeting.
It's a board meeting, but the members are allowed to speak at a board meeting.
After they've made a decision.
You weren't allowed to be part of the decision.
After it's voted on.
As I said, I was speaking, you interrupted. I'm asking people not to do that. If we do, we're just gonna adjourn the meeting and continue next month.
Oh, so, okay.
So anyway, I'm thinking we should limit it to 12 months. The city says that the state law forbids them from banning short-term rentals. I don't agree with it, but that's their position. The lawyer says the correct and only way to do it is for us to agree to it. Once we agree to it, he'll write it up, we'll go out to the neighborhood for a vote, and if it passes, it's done. Just like when we limited, you couldn't buy a house unless you lived in it for 12 months before well, you couldn't rent a house that you bought unless you lived in it for 12 months prior to trying to lease it out. That's been working fairly well.
Yeah, we got one right now on Hardwood doing that.
That's being being addressed.
Mhm.
Will the
Is he
members be
renting or is
allowed
he
to
just
see what the cost
babysitting
of
it?
changing the documents will be?
Uh,
Because there is a cost associated with reprinting the documents and redoing all
Well,
that.
the cost is gonna be for the attorney to write it up, goes out, it'll go out as a mail out, and then, it'll be codified in the court, and then everybody will have a copy.
Right.
So.
And I would like to also mention that there shouldn't be any subleases.
I agree.
I think that's already covered.
Well, we should
Actually.
cover it, just to be sure.
I believe it's already in our governing documents about subleasing, it's prohibited.
Well, why don't we just approve it, and then if it's already there, the attorney can tell us, if it's not there, the attorney can tell us that, and we
Yeah.
can move accordingly.
So everybody's good
Well,
with the 12
I
months?
think it's already here.
12 months
Okay.
left.
You just need somebody to make a motion?
I'm not
Yep.
making
Okay,
motion.
Mike,
Second.
second, Scott?
All in favor? Looks like that's done.
Just a vote.
Then the next thing that I've got.
Unless you wanna drink it.
The next thing that I've got is we've had a persistent problem with the lights down at the entrance. I know, and Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you had an electrician in, and no one
We had
seemed to
an
know where the
amendment
panel
done.
would supply power to those lights. Andrea was good enough to do a little digging. She found some solar powered lights that we could put up. It seems to me like that'd be a lot less expensive. You really wouldn't need an electrician for much of it.
You're still paying electric on the poles.
And a pole, well, if you're not using the electricity, it's not gonna cost you very much. And it's a solar powered light that's out there charging all day. You were the one that looked, but it's
Yeah,
got an
it's like a
8-hour charge.
floodlight and it has a charger next to it and it lasts about 5 years is what it said. But you can get that separately or you can, if we get new signs, it can be on top of the sign, they make them.
Signs are coming, we're still waiting on a couple of bids for that.
So they can attach something to the sign to make it solar.
I like that idea, yeah.
It
It'd be
seems
nice
to make
have.
good sense, I mean, limits our expenses and does what we need it to do.
Yeah, 14.2, it is in here, subleasing is prohibited. Sorry, it took me a minute to find it, but it is 100% in here already.
Okay, I think that's a good idea.
So
I
you're
mean,
making a
because
motion?
I think a motion.
We had O'Galley
Lisa?
Electric do the lighting before and they know where the
I mean,
power
We need
is.
a second,
That's it.
Mike?
We had O'Galley Electric do the power on the light before and they know where the power is located for the front entrance.
Okay,
Any
we can-
drawings or anything with the city on where the electrical is? You just can't put electrical in for nothing. You've gotta have something.
The power for the front comes from the front sprinkler box on the front berm.
I thought
That's where the
that's the
meter
solar.
is.
No, those are, they used to do
No,
the
I
flag.
mean-
And
I
O'Galley
thought we were
Electric in the
talking about
past has
solar
replaced the
lights.
bulbs that are out in the
Right,
post light
right.
on at the beginning of the
But
neighborhood.
I'm just saying, I mean, when it was originally done, there should have been some kind of
It is,
documentation
that's where it
there's-
comes from.
Where is that?
There's a sprinkler box on the front
Okay.
berm about
That's
halfway
fine.
down.
I mean, I'm just saying, there should be a city drawing.
I do think that if we can get the electric, like he's talking about, if we already know that they know where it's at and we can get it done reasonably.
O'Galley Electric has replaced it twice in the
It's
past.
smart to do
yeah.
the electric because then the hassle of somebody taking care of when the lights go bad and they're not working, even though those solar powers are great, there are problems that go along with them.
Yeah, they're not perfect.
But-
It's
and-
cloudy,
yeah.
it's cloudy.
And if people don't maintain them, which I'm not saying that people will or won't, but you don't know, you put that responsibility on somebody, so.
If it's 20 feet in the air, I don't think there's very many people gonna go clean those solar lenses or any of
I'm a
that.
good climber.
Well, yeah, they do wear out in the sun, especially after a few months of hard sun. They will
Okay.
wear down, and they
Okay,
will.
we have a motion on the floor, do we wanna amend it?
Let's try amending it to, I'll get some quotes from O'Galley Electric over the next week or so. And at next month's meeting, we decide whether we wanna do
Yeah.
hard voltage or, solar. And then this wasn't on the agenda, but while we're all here, Lisa, why don't you talk about the trees over there?
Yeah, actually, they never been trimmed last year at all. and I've been moving all the furniture, you know, the seeds. So I try not to do it until for the cost, but we need them done this year.
I've already got bids and I was told that not to do it because you guys are trying to cut them down, which I think is a terrible idea. Everybody has to trim palm trees.
It's just a fact of
Well,
life.
Um, we could also like plant like Christmas palm. At least those they don't, because otherwise we have to do it every year.
You're talking about $350 a year.
Right. The
Break
palm-
that
the-
down per person,
the-
and it's like
It's
$1.
the mess that it's
The
created.
mess
It's a
that-
mess.
and they go to the
clog
pool, the-
filters. It's a
As they're
mess.
trimmed, do they shed stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, even if they're
That
trimmed?
were with the seed, and they're all over the deck, and they go in the pool, and that's why I've been moving all the furniture.
Can we have like the lawn crew blow them away?
Excuse me?
The lawn crew, can they blow those stuff
Right,
away?
so I don't-
No, not if they were inside the pool.
Well, here's the thing, I don't think it's a bad idea if we replace it with some sort of nice.
That's what I'm
decorative
saying.
palm.
We can do a Christmas palm. I can even play. I already researched. We can buy a 9-gallon for $35. We don't need the big one. They don't go big and they're self-cleaning.
Yeah, there are palm trees you don't have to trim.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about,
I'm
right?
very
The one
familiar.
you have some across your street, and they're slow. The highest they go is about 12 feet. Yes, they do have that seed, but they can easily cut. If you know what I'm talking about.
I just think we need something tropical looking around the pool.
Right.
I'm not saying, if you guys wanna cut down those palms, I'm good
I
with it,
mean, I will.
as long as we replace
The
it
only
with
thing
something
though-
that's
Because we've
not-
cut down a lot of trees that haven't been replaced, that's true.
Yeah,
But the only thing
Yeah.
though, I want to get rid of the bush. You know what, the shrub,
Yeah.
I took a picture, they're rotten. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't looked at it, but I will tell you off base a little bit. We got a lot of tree work to do, cause I walked that front berm like I told
Right.
everybody at the last meeting I would do. And we got 3 or 4 palms up on that front berm
Mm-hmm.
that have a tree called a strangler fig that is growing out of the palm trees. The palm trees are unsalvageable.
Yeah.
Right.
Those palm
Parasitic.
trees have to be cut down along with the strangler figs are more of a tree than the palm trees are, and the palm trees are 30 feet tall. So it looks so bushy up there in the front berm because we basically got a tree that's a weed growing
Parasite.
that is attached to itself like a
Parasitic.
parasite.
A
to the
parasitic
palm tree.
organism.
And the palm trees at this point have got to be cut down along with all the strangler figs.
Right. So I'm thinking if we just get rid, you see those bushes, they're already rotten. There's 3 of those and then there's on the other side. I know we don't have to cut them right away, but I can put them in there. I mean, I'm gonna do the work. You're gonna save money, but I take care of that. But the only thing I'm telling you is I only work on when I don't make money.
What are you gonna trim them or just,
I will remove them, this bush.
I
Just
yeah, I
rub.
know what you're talking about.
And then I put those Christmas, but you know what a Christmas palm looks
I have
like.
one in my yard, yes.
And
yeah.
so I maybe just 6 and that's it. But they come with 4, they come with 3, they
Right,
come with 1.
they come with like 3 or
And
4
as
like
I
prongs
said-
coming out, right?
I found place by Aurora. There's this $35.
The only problem with those
Well-
is those are seem to be more susceptible for Gammaderma disease than
Yes,
some of the other palms.
there are some diseases that they will catch us through.
All palms are
Susceptible,
there you go.
I got you.
But these seem to be more susceptible than some of the other palms, those Christmas palms.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that's.
I'm
what
not
it is.
objecting to it, Lisa. I'm just saying
No,
that's
yeah, I understand.
something to
yeah.
consider.
But I don't want the spiky one because when you trim them,
Oh,
I
yes.
don't know what
No,
I have one in
definitely
my
not.
yard.
And
No,
those cost a lot more to trim to get people to do them. People don't
Exactly.
want to trim them.
so that's just a thought.
Does the
So
board
it's
wanna
up to
get
you.
a price to take down those palms? Or,
You're talking about the ones out at Croton?
no, the one around the pool?
Around the pool.
I only think we need to take down maybe, I think we got what, 10 or 11 palms in
10
it?
left.
We probably only need to take, if we're gonna do what you're wanting to do to solve your problem, probably only need to take down about 8. So, and I can tell you already, I can probably get that done for about approximately $200 a tree. that's without the stump, $250 a tree with the stump probably.
Why don't we have a chance for everybody to go look and get an idea what they think we should do, and table it until next month, and then we can vote on it?
I think we at least need to come up with something that we're gonna replant. It doesn't have to be, if we take down 10, it doesn't have to be 10, but we just have to have something that looks tropical, I personally think, around the pool.
Leafy and tropical.
Yeah, something where it feels like it's an oasis rather than a desert.
Well, we could also put some shrub, like tropical, like
It's
thyme,
paradise or
and
something like that.
not croton tend to get some aphid. So I have to spray my stuff a lot, so, sorry, I'm a plant person.
So is
I
there-
mean, I can do cutting, I mean, we don't need to pay for it, I just do it there, and I have a kind of green thumb, so I can make the place really good, I think I can.
I got
Did the
faith.
building look nice, didn't I?
Yeah.
It might not be your
Yeah, it looks
color,
great.
but
You did great on that, yeah.
No, we all appreciate it. So what do you
you're
think?
welcome.
We can just stew on this for a month and look at it and see what we think, or? Scott?
I agree, just like I said, somebody needs to be in charge with coming up with a different
Like a
plant to.
Tree committee.
I think that's the only thing, I don't think anybody seems to be objecting to that. If it makes it easier for the pool cleaning, then that's fine. I just think that cutting them down with no, goal of putting anything back would be a mistake.
Right.
Well,
Oh, can I add something before
Sure.
we end up? This is not, it's in the playground. It started the mulch. And I probably can just stop it, maybe 10 bags, they're about $3.50.
how many
Can-
bags do you think you need?
Probably 20. But, I don't pay not taxes. I have 10% discount, so basically taxes. So around $70. Will I do that?
I don't think that's unreasonable, it's a
Okay?
maintenance item.
Let's do it,
Do it?
let's do it.
All right.
I've
All in
got,
I don't
favor?
mind doing it.
I've got 3 bags of mulch if you need it.
It has to be cypress.
It is.
Oh, good thing.
$2.98 a bag.
Where
Oh,
are you, Lisa, where are you
where?
talking about putting this?
Lowe's.
Oh, I better go to Lowe's then.
Where are you talking about putting this?
Oh, the playground, because
Oh,
they
yes,
started
yes,
to
yes, yes.
disintegrate. I'll just
Well,
kinda
that's
mix
kind of
it
your
up.
wheelhouse.
Can I go back to the trees around the
Sure,
pool real
sure,
fast? So very quickly, the only reason why I interrupted to bring up the stuff at the front berm, the stuff at the front berm is probably, would be more important, than probably the stuff around the pool. Because we got a mess, and the more that those, strangler figs grow, they're getting up into the lines up there and stuff, which makes it more expensive to try
Right.
to get tree guys
Lose
to do the work and
electricity
stuff.
too.
Well, we
Right
just-
now, as it sits, I can probably, and I've told people before, if people are willing to come help, I'm willing to donate a little bit of time and can save us thousands of dollars by cutting some of them strangler fig branches down and stuff. Cutting them down won't take no time at all. The problem is getting somebody to take it away,
Right.
cause that I don't have the ability to do. I do have a pole saw, and I can do quick, fast damage on a lot of those strangler figs and things like that to get it cut down. And then I have a tree guy that is not licensed and insured. However, I am licensed and insured, so we could run it under my business and I could use him as an employee to cut down, if anybody would agree with that, to cut down. Basically, we'd get him at probably a fourth of the price of hiring a tree company to do things that I can't do.
Sounds sort of reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, cause
As
In-
far as out there at Croton, if you wanna do it at a time when I can be available to help, I'm happy to do that as much as I'm able. I mean, I work 5 days a week and I get home about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
do we have anybody that has a big trailer that we can throw debris in? That's the big question. Because cutting it down will go fast. If we have if I have 3 people helping me, we can load up a trailer load worth of stuff, but we have to have a big trailer to load it up to be able to
Would
get
it
it
have to be
away.
an open trailer or is it enclosed from workable?
I don't think an enclosed would work very well.
Cause I know a guy that has one of them, I could ask, but I don't know anyone with an open trailer.
And yeah, an enclosed trailer probably wouldn't work, you know, because then it takes it a nightmare. We need I might be able to find a trailer, but I definitely am gonna need 3 strong bodies to be able to help throw in as I'm cutting. I can be cutting the stuff and just chunking it. Somebody's on the ground cutting it, we can toss it in a trailer.
I'll help you.
But there is thousands of dollars worth of work that we need to get done up at the front. And I'm not saying don't do those.
No,
bumps.
but the
I'm just
point
saying
is,
those things,
we're supposed to have them done every year. See, I've been
they
taking
need
care,
it, no doubt about it.
I've been doing the pool area, and I just, that's what I said, I did my best so that people not complaining. I move all the furniture so that they won't be stepping, I blow,
The only reason why I was saying, and I'm okay with, like I said, going with, you wanna cut them
yeah,
down,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
we don't have
I'm
to
just
do it right
mentioning,
away.
I've got a quote for $35 a tree to trim them this year.
Right,
So for
maybe we could just
$350,
do that.
we could trim all the trees, get through to next year, and then we have the money in the budget to do the stuff up front.
Mhm.
Because the stuff up front is just getting worse and worse, and I
Yeah,
walked the
I
whole
agree.
area, and there's at least 4 strangler figs that have really taken over up there that makes it look like a mess. And that's the majority of the reason why it looks so ratty up there in the front, and they're growing out of the palm trees.
Right.
If you walk up there and
It
look.
needs to be cleaned up because there is obstruction looking south on when they're trying to turn onto Croton. Because
Yeah.
some of the branches have dropped down so far.
But if you were to actually walk up there, you would see there's trees that are growing
Oh, yeah.
inside of the palms.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen 'em.
Okay, I think that's a good
So-
idea.
So are you making a motion to trim the palms around the pool?
I don't know if it's making a motion, I'm just seeing if anybody's willing to help me, or if we don't help me, at least we can get. I don't wanna go get any more estimates, I've kind of been doing that, and I feel like I'm wasting all my people's time, you know, cause
I understand.
I'm embarrassing myself when I have people come out, I know they give fair prices, and then
You
when
said
I.
$350 to trim them,
$350,
right?
I can get
Yeah.
all the pump, $35 a tree, I've got a quote, which is, I already know with
Very
today's world,
reasonable.
you know, 10 years ago, you could get them for $15 or $20 a tree.
Okay,
But now, they're going from most people for $50 a tree at least.
all right, I think we'd better just
So-
do it.
Okay, so
For,
Lisa,
for this
So
year,
you're making a motion?
I make a motion to trim the palm trees for this year.
I'll second
Thank
that.
you, Lisa.
You
That
are.
way we can get the stuff up done, and more important this year.
all in
Right.
favor?
So that's done. Did I do 6? Did you have something else?
No, just the front.
Oh, so is anybody at this meeting here willing to help if we set up a date?
I'm willing to help if I can.
That's physically able to help, let me just say that, not that, I know lots of people are willing to help, but to think that they can do some of the, I don't want nobody having heart attacks or out there.
I'll help
So
as much
this,
as I'm able.
I mean,
Okay.
my day is hard because I work.
So,
7
I'm
days.
gonna work something out with Mike, I'll talk with Mike, and we'll set a date, and it'll have to obviously be a weekend, like a Saturday, sometime in the next couple of weeks. And then if I could just get, I asked 3 people to help me, we can do fast damage on that front. And we can't get it all done, but we can get a lot of it done so we save thousands of dollars from paying a tree company. And then the rest of it, I can probably hire this other tree guy under my license to do the work. So we're not breaking any rules as far as not hiring
Oh,
somebody.
yeah, licensed and insured and blah, 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 yeah.
What are you gonna do as far as the trailer?
I could probably borrow a trailer, I might be able to borrow a trailer.
I'm gonna say it.
I'll have to look into that, but even if we rent the trailer, it would be worth it. We're gonna save a lot of money from hiring a tree service. I had somebody give me a bid from the tree service to clean up that front, and it's basically about $6,500.
Does Tim's Trees have an open trailer?
I don't think he does anymore. He's basically a handyman now.
Yeah, I see him pretty frequently, but he's always got the closed trailer.
Yeah, and he's raised his prices on tree work because he doesn't want to do trees anymore. I mean, I personally talk to him from time to time, and he's just over the tree business.
Yeah, I see him periodically as well.
Yeah.
That's who I was gonna ask about the trailer, to be honest.
Yeah, and I know lots of people with trailers. I could probably get us a trailer, and if I couldn't get one, if we go rent one, it's worth it. You know.
Yeah, I don't think they're that much money.
Yeah, I truly think we could have that front thing done for $3,000 instead of having to pay $6,500.
Okay,
No, let us know, we'll do what we can to come, you know.
I'll get in contact with you, and then because you seem to have everybody's numbers, and then you can contact
Or I
everybody
come up with them.
and get the helpers. You've seen some of the people that have raised their hands
Was
here.
our lawn service not doing anything out front? I mean, they're not even weed whacking the weeds.
They cut all the bushes down in the front. That was.
Yeah, but I'm talking.
To be honest with you, all those things that are grown up, I've looked at what you're talking about. I'm probably, if you haven't walked it, they're not aware. The only way we're gonna get rid of those is either excavation or my stump grinder could probably do them.
They're
But-
also not weed whacking inside the wooden fence behind the pool. I went in there 3
Oh.
times and did it myself.
I think I've got their number, so if you would text me and remind me, and I'll call them.
I think he keeps changing his personnel too, so that's
Oh,
a big
yeah.
issue.
They can't help that.
I
People
know
can't
that.
keep employees.
I know.
Yeah, they can't keep employees.
But the point is, they haven't touched the inside, and I cleaned it out myself when Tom the pool guy was there.
I never been in there no, since it closed.
And if I'm not mistaken, Terry handled most of that discussion with the mowing guy, and I don't recall what they agreed to.
But it needs to be addressed because you don't want bugs forming in there. You don't want termites to get into the fence. The whole shebang.
Agreed. So is that it?
Okay, that's it.
Let's go ahead and give everybody a few minutes if they've got questions or anything. We'll be open for a few minutes. Bear in
Did you
mind-
want me to do the financials?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know if you had them.
Yeah, Renee sent them to me. Okay, in your operating account, you have $30,912.66. This is as of January 31st this year. Your reserve account has $33,186.88.
We're still doing okay.
You have money.
What's going on with that one house that's been vacant for 4 years? Because I saw it was pending sale.
On Meadowwood,
Yes.
it's under realtor, there's been
I
multiple
don't
people
know.
look at it, but it hasn't sold.
I'll ask Renee if she's got an estoppel or anything for it.
Because the question is, do they know about the no rental policy?
They have to get through the board and fill out
It's in
the
the bylaws.
I
application.
mean, they have
In
to
the
But
agree to all of the.
we had to stop 2 sales last year because of
Yeah.
that.
I believe
fucking
that's
with
on
me.
the estoppel
Huh?
now.
What?
We had to stop 2 sales last year because they didn't claim they didn't know the rental rule.
Mhm.
I know they've got it, they did have it up on an auction site and they didn't meet their number. And I'm told it's back up for sale.
It's listed with the realtor. It's listed as a regular sale.
It's like someone picks up the yard too.
Tony's been working on the yard, keeping it up.
And then the one on Teakwood, we're not there yet, but I think we're getting very close to having that one settled.
How are the maintenance fees being covered on these properties?
They're paying them.
Yeah,
The banks
they
are
still,
paying them.
they still have to pay.
Well, who's paying if there's no one in the house?
The banks are paying, 'cause the
Yeah,
banks are.
and if they don't, then we collect it on when they close,
Right.
plus the interest and late fees.
Well, being a deed restricted community, part of the sale of the property would be getting a copy of the bylaws and that no
Yep.
rental agreement would be in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The title company has to
Right.
provide that.
Is there anything else? Yes, sir.
Mhm.
That guy tore down the fence by me, he's blocking up the end of hardwood, tearing up the berm. According to him, the board approved it.
They did.
And
It wasn't an official board meeting. I told you that. I talked to
Oh, I
Fred.
know, but I
It
wanna
wasn't
bring it
like
up
all
in
the
front of our
board, all the board
board.
didn't even know. I approached Fred and I said, Fred, I made a phone call. I have a guy. He's very particular. He said he'll fix the thing when he's done. He's not done yet. See,
I
that's
know, but you don't live right there, I do.
a little
And he's
communication would
tearing
have
up
been
the
nice.
place. He parked the
He's not
dumpster, I could barely
I
get out my
challenge it. Well,
driveway.
okay, maybe the dumpster's an issue, but as far as tearing up the place, I think you're taking it a little extreme.
There was a lot
Because I
going
think
on
if
today.
anybody
There
goes look
was
down
a
there-
there was a
Should've seen
lot
the
of
mess he
activity
made
today.
No,
Even
like I
today.
said, I'm not denying
That's why I'm
that. I
bringing
have
it up
nothing
to
to
the
say about
board.
that.
Can
I'm
the
talking
board
about
do
as far
anything
as.
about
It's
this?
being addressed.
Okay, and what about the house that's being rented? The guy hasn't owned it a year,
It's,
and the other guy's running a landscaping business out of
that's
it,
been
parking
turned over
trailers.
to the attorney,
Okay,
and it's in his hands.
I just wanted to bring it up to the board. You know,
Yeah,
he's
we
parking
know.
trailers on the front lawn, not even just in the driveway.
I crawled that into the management company when I saw it originally
Okay.
several weeks ago.
Just wanted to bring it up to the board so they
Thank
knew
you.
what was going on.
Thank
We
you so
appreciate
much.
it. Anything else?
I would think that a little communication that, hey, there's gonna be some work going on, probably would have alleviated some of this, just some
He did, he
communication.
came and told me, it'd be a couple days, it's over a month already.
Well, I mean, the
He's
entire,
tearing it up again.
the street could have known, you know what I mean, like, cause,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I had concerns with it too, cause he's parked in front of me too. He
Right,
parks in front of, you know, Peter and Patricia, and I get it, you know, I understand he's got a job to do, and he feels that it was approved by the board, you know, whether it was or wasn't.
why doesn't he
But-
go into his own yard?
Well,
Why did he
ask
have to come
permission,
to ours?
cause he
though?
couldn't get the equipment on the side of his house, so
That's
he
cause he pissed off both his neighbors on either side.
doesn't have the ability. I couldn't get my machine on the side of his house either.
You know,
And-
he yelled at the one guy next to him.
Be that as it may, you know, if he pissed everybody off everywhere else or not, I do think that some communication to the street would have probably alleviated a lot. It's just like, hey,
He's done more
Everybody
than
on
what
highway.
what I talked to him about doing. He was just supposed to originally.
and I don't blame you. You only went
Yeah,
off
that's
of
what
the
he
word
told
of
me
the
he was
guy,
gonna do.
but
But all I can vouch for is he has good intentions. He's clogging up the street, and maybe things are. But I think if we approach him nice and just say, "Hey, look, we can't be clogging up the streets. Can't be getting dust on everybody's stuff. Is there any other way we can come to an agreement?" Because the guy's not trying to be a troublemaker. I just think there's a reasonable approach where we could be good neighbors to the guy.
I tried,
still
he's
solve
got
our
a
issue.
short fuse, let me tell you, he went off on me this morning. He went off,
He's
he's
probably
got
been
one of those
approached.
service
He's probably been
dogs.
A
approached
dozen
a dozen
times.
times or more already about it. It's kind of like me. I'm like you said. I'm not have nothing against you. I kind of had a little out with Mike a little bit. I have nothing against Mike, but I'm done with it. It's like I want to just scream and yell because I'm tired of being called every week. Are we
Well,
going
the
to
only
sod?
reason I approached you approached me about it.
No, I know,
the
but
day
I'm just
you
letting you
guys-
know that's probably why he's reacting like
I
that.
thought
'cause-
you was a contact point,
Yeah.
let me put it that way, that's all.
And it is partially my fault that it's gotten to this point, but I just wish that, I didn't know it was gonna turn into this big of a thing, but I will tell you, when it's all said and done, as far as the berm and the sod and all that, he's already told me he'll sod
Really
it,
good.
Yeah, you told me that too.
Yeah. you know, now
But
as far as all
you
the
know,
equipment
is
in
this
our,
gonna go on for
in our
5 months?
cul-de-sac, I don't know what the answer is to
They really
that.
can't help that. If you're doing work, you're gonna need equipment.
yeah, and you're gonna
And
mess
just
some
come and
stuff
go,
up.
and
Yeah, but you ought to
that's-
see the
that-
bulldozers
and that's-
running over those
that's
tree
the,
roots with, that
nature of
tree's gonna
construction, there's
die.
gonna be a lot of dust. That
Yeah.
can't be helped either, unfortunately. I live right there too. I'm not too happy about it, but I know what has to be done because I've worked with people in construction, so I know what's gonna happen. Anytime
Yeah.
that you work, even if you work in your house, there's gonna be dust everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who
Well,
has,
I think they were cutting
so-
concrete.
so there's nothing
There
you
was
can
some
do about the
concrete
dust,
cutting.
unfortunately, you know what I mean? I mean, what are they gonna do to?
What he's doing is
to
he's
control
putting
the
some
dust.
pavers in his, I talked to him today
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
came to the meeting. He's putting some pavers back there. Now, when I originally talked to him, he was just gonna lower the grade down and put sod. So I think that this project, part of the reason why it's going on as long as it did, is because he's opened a can of worms and he's decided he wants to do a little more than what he planned on doing. So, and all I can do is say, I'm sorry about that, and, you know, you guys can handle it from
I'm
here.
not trying to put it on you, Scott.
Well, it is probably my fault. I'm the one who said, hey, let me talk to the
Yeah.
president, I'm on the board, and I don't think it'll be a problem as long as we get things back. I vouch for the guy's personality as far as I know that he's particular. Believe me, he'll make that nice when he's done. It's not gonna look like terrible work. He's not
Yeah,
gonna kill the tree as much as you think it's gonna kill the tree. It's not gonna
I
kill
don't
the
know,
tree.
he's running it over with tracked vehicles.
And it is leaning a bit.
It's been lean, though.
Well, he went in it with the shovel and started ripping up the roots at first. He wanted to smooth it so he didn't have to bounce so much.
Yeah.
And Scott, just be clear, nobody's blaming you for anything.
No, Scott,
It's one of those things that.
I don't want you
it
to
started,
become.
it snowballed, it'll get resolved.
I don't take it like that. I think I just am not handling the anxiety as much as I would like to because I'm having my own little problems. My stump grinder I had to deal with getting it over to Lakeland and it was inoperable and it's 5,000 pounds and it wasn't easy to get. So I've been dealing with a lot of stress of my own stuff. And then they
Hey,
get the phone call.
you know I
They
did
get
that
the
too.
phone call every week about the sod when I've made it clear when the guy's done, he'll sod. You know, I haven't been approached about the dust. I haven't been approached about all the stuff in the thing.
Oh,
you
my
know.
brand new Honda was brown
Yeah, I
today
didn't know
instead of
anything
blue.
about that, but I know I've been approached multiple times about the sod.
Nobody's come to me about it, and I live right there.
Yeah.
so.
I just know that,
And today's the first day I talked to him, and he went off on me. I
Yeah.
mean, he went off. I think he's got PTSD or whatever, cause he's got a service dog.
The only thing I ask is from here on out, I would like to remain on the board if I don't wanna be contacted about this anymore.
You won't hear from me.
You guys
I talked to
wanna
him.
sue him, whatever, but I can
won't
tell the
bother
guy,
you.
tell you personally, the guy's a good guy. He just, it's
Yeah.
unfortunately probably blossomed into something more that he didn't plan. And the reason why it's taken so long is he probably had to contract somebody to do the pavers that he's doing. So it sat dormant for weeks.
Yeah.
Where he had the fence just sitting there, and then he probably had to wait till they were ready to start.
Well, it
that's-
started today.
Yeah, and they'll probably be done within the week as far as all that stuff.
Hopefully.
As
Scott,
far as the paper.
we're concerned, we don't need to discuss anymore, we know your position.
Yeah.
It's being taken care of, and let's wait and see what happens.
Thank you, Scott.
Anything else?
Here.
Yes, sir.
I don't know the propriety of this, I'm learning, but my wife and I wanna put in new windows in our house. So I put together on the website, I realized I submitted it both online and I think I'm doing this right, and I don't know who to submit it to.
Oh, okay.
But that's it, it's, we wanna put in hurricane impact windows, replace the ones that are currently there.
Smart move, when you say you emailed it into the.
I think I did, I think I hit submit, and so I think identically what's there has been.
I can help you on a Saturday.
TCB.
I can probably help you on a Saturday. I need to know which Saturday, cause I do, I work on Saturdays too. So I need to go ahead and figure out
Sure.
if I'm open that Saturday, then I can.
I've got a
Won't be
copy
this
of it
Saturday.
myself, so I
I'm
can
thinking
certainly
maybe
do
3
that
weeks from
tonight.
now.
Okay.
Because- But I'll have to talk
And I'll
to
give
Mike
this
and then
copy
we'll
to
get.
Sharon,
Okay,
that
I-
way the
didn't
manager
I give
has
you
it
my
if there's
number?
any questions.
Yes.
Okay, so
And I have
if you
a
just text me
question
on
as
which
we're moving
Saturday,
to Florida.
that way I can see, cause I schedule two, like
things
2, 3
both
weeks in
ways
advance.
that I need
I'm real busy, I'm
to
just
pull a
tired
permit on it.
from, you know.
The
I've
window
heard I
company
only
will
need
do
to
it.
pull a permit
And I've had the
if
same
the
client for 30
contractor
years,
does it,
so I'm
or
constantly
I-
busy.
The
But I
window
can
company,
schedule
if they're
around that
licensed,
if
but
I
they
know in
pull the
advance
permit.
what day you're gonna pick.
But if I wanna hire a
Yeah,
person,
I have to talk with Mike
that I've
first
seen
to find
the
out
work
when we can
done,
arrange
Okay.
other
and I
help,
do
because
that
me
with
and
that.
Mike's not,
Yeah.
I need one or
do
two
I have to
people.
pull a permit?
Well, it
Yeah.
depends.
And I've got
If he's
saws
not a
and
contractor,
chainsaw and
you
that
will
stuff
have
too.
to pull a permit,
Okay.
because you're gonna
I got-
assume all
I got a
responsibility
everything.
off of his work.
Okay.
If he
So
is a
it's
licensed
okay.
contractor, he can pull the
Yeah.
permit and do it
And I'm
himself.
telling
That
you,
way, if something goes
2 hours
wrong,
will do a lot.
you can pass the blame on to him and not you.
Understood, okay, that's what I needed to.
I also use my Sawzall.
Thank you.
Sometimes
How long does it
it's,
take?
Yeah, how long does it take?
Just
to
safer and
approval
easier.
Typically, for us to go ahead?
As
We
far
just
as
need a
from the
call.
neighborhood,
And it's lighter,
it won't
too.
take 30 days. It takes a little longer than it should, but we're expediting that.
Okay, so I should now, if I choose to not go with the contractor, go and contact the county, city about
Sounds like mine.
getting a permit. Okay,
You want the guy's phone number?
yeah,
You can do it online.
Should have left my phone in the
no,
car.
that's okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I was sitting here going, where the hell did I put that? Now this is the mobile code enforcement guy. But he can direct you towards permitting. 321-508-2942. His name's Ralph Keller.
Thank you.
Happy to help. Anything
I
else?
have one question.
Shoot.
I have a tree in my yard that I may have to cut down because it's damaging my walk and my driveway. So what would be the procedure to have somebody approve that, or
What kind of tree is it?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Is it an oak?
No. I just know that my walk is already up about 4 inches, roots coat going underneath it.
In the interest of everybody getting it and not having anything to complain about, why don't you go ahead and send it in to TCB, and she can distribute it out to the ACR board, and with any luck, we'll have that done within 30 days.
I'm in a hurry, eventually I'm gonna do it. It's getting worse and worse, so.
You wanna get it before it goes under your foundation.
Well, exactly, that's just it, and it's so close to my house, it's like about 5 feet from the house.
Yeah, if you don't do something with it, the roots could, and ask me how I know, go up and break your shower pan,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have to put a whole new shower in.
It's already going towards the house on the walk.
Sooner you can get it done, the better y'all feel.
Yeah, sure.
I know all about that.
Oak tree and
Yeah,
shade
I don't really wanna
the
cut it, cause I get shade from it,
roots are
but,
right at the front.
and I've been putting it off,
I asked about that.
for over a year, I said, well, I better do it. So, okay.
So, according to the bylaws, if your tree is within 5 feet of a structure, which the structure would then be your sidewalk or
Yeah, yeah.
your house, then you, will- it's according to the city of Melbourne and the HOA, we have to preserve trees that are 4 inches in diameter or larger, except in certain instances, and one of those instances is it's causing damage, and it's 5 feet or less from your house or a structure, which would be your house, your driveway, your garage, your
It's only,
patio,
it's right up against the wall.
and it,
Would you
yeah,
like
and
me to look at it for you, cause I might be able to chop that root
Okay.
and salvage the tree.
I've got some pictures, matter of fact, I
Yeah,
can
oh,
send
yeah,
you
you-
because
I was
he's
gonna
my
say my
neighbor. We
pictures
were
Because,
talking-
to be quite honest with you, I do a lot of work like that, where I can chop a root, the tree still keeps its stability.
Mhm.
I haven't seen it, I have to see it to see if I can do that, but then you eliminate that problem.
Yeah. I did dig some of it up and cut the roots going towards the house, but I didn't know if I solved the problem or not.
Sometimes
Yeah.
And I just don't wanna have
I
an
could
issue
just
with my
dive
property.
it, grind it out, and chop everything.
Can you lift concrete to get underneath it?
Yeah,
I can
'cause-
get underneath it now.
Yeah, because it's already, I mean, I'm talking my
I
walk
mean,
is
it's inches.
that far up,
I gotta get my kitchen redone.
from the roots
I
kicking it up.
think we just need to probably cut it down then.
Yeah.
Coming right down to
Also,
it.
Second.
Anybody else?
Anybody second?
I do.
Okay,
I forgot
Well,
about your leak.
motion to adjourn is what we did.
yeah, she did.
Oh, all in favor?
Something good.
Done. Thank you all for coming.
There's like 5 different conversations going on.
Yeah, sorry.
You do it yourself.
No.